Hello, I'm Tony Mitra, and I have been involved with fighting with the government to bring more disclosure on glyphosate, and not very successfully as such. But recently I got hold of a whole lot of data of foods tested by CFI, Canadian Food Inspection Agency of foods available in Canada, thousands of such records, starting with middle of 2015, ending with the end of 2016. And now I am trying to write a book on my analysis of all that data that has been converted by me into a usable spreadsheet and database system with a lot of work. And so this is what the book is about. But a few more points. I have been informed by CFIA that they are coming up with a report on it themselves sometime very soon. And I have also seen reports on the web that CFIA wishes to weigh in on the raging debate going on glyphosate in food. This raging debate, so to speak, is a recent development originating in USA, where I understand that the state court in California is trying to make it mandatory for Roundup herbicide to have a warning label in the package saying that it could lead to cancer, or that it is probably carcinogenic. And the matter has been taken to court. The promoters of the herbicide is trying to block this law, requiring them to put this warning label, and I believe the court has rejected their appeal, and therefore the labeling requirement will likely likely be enforced. This is one reason the debate has restarted. The other news that is coming out is that there is some issue going on with disclosure of the documents based on which US Environment Protection Agency, approved the use of glyphosate in US agriculture to start with. This is how, once it was approved by EPA, the product was pushed down the throat of every other country, Canada being the next, because it has been approved by EPA, and then EPA leans in on it, and the government of USA, I suspect, also leans in on it, and then it has gone from country to country. So now this document based on which glyphosate was approved has not been released among the US population. The document that was submitted to Health Canada has not been disclosed to the Canadian population, and as far as I know, no other population also has any access to this document. My understanding of the law is it is illegal for any government to allow the release and use of a product while still hiding its safety documents. So in my understanding of the law, both the US government, the Canadian government, and every other government is breaking the law by allowing the use of glyphosate while hiding its safety test and raw data. Therefore, according to me, in my judgment, there is no safe levels of glyphosate. There is no proof provided by the government anywhere that it is safe to have even 1 part per billion glyphosate in your food. Forget about hundreds or thousands. This is the first part. I also have access to a lot of scientists who have done work on glyphosate, and what exactly it does, apart from being a chelator and a pipe cleaner, what else it can do in the biological level, cell biology level, because of its ability to mimic one of the essential amino acids of our life, of all living creatures. It mimics glycine, and how it can start getting misincorporated into our proteins, another long story, but leave it aside. Now, Government of Canada has set MRL, maximum residue limits, on each kind of food for glyphosate. For example, if you're talking about grains, like for instance rye or wheat or barley and so on, the limits are not always the same. In some cases it is 5,000 parts per billion, some cases it's 15,000 parts per billion. In cases of some kinds of cotton seeds, it is 40,000 parts per billion, while no data has been made public that it is safe for even 1 part per billion. So I have enough reason to disbelieve any of these safe limits. Now I don't know, the CFIA is coming out with a report to weigh in, basically to say that yes, they tested a whole lot of food, probably more than any other country has officially tested anywhere on the planet, and that although many of the foods have a lot of glyphosate, they are way below the MRL, the maximum residue limit, and therefore whether it is glyphosate is carcinogenic or not is irrelevant, because they are only harmful if it reaches this safety limit. Since they are much lower than that, don't worry about it, go to sleep, everything is hunky-dory. This is the reason I suspect, I don't know, that CFIA is trying to publish their findings in a report sometime soon. And this is the reason I'm racing against the clock to come out with my ebook, which you should be able to buy from Amazon by the end of this month or first week of April, of my interpretation of the foods as tested by CFIA. Thousands and thousands of records, not all of them are Canadian, there are foods from all over the place. And in my analysis, by and large, Canada is the producer of the most poisonous food in the planet. I don't have any other way I can say it. And I strongly use the term toxic and poisonous to describe presence of glyphosate in food, disregarding the attempt by the mainstream media and the mainstream scientific community and the governments to control what is the meaning of poison and toxicity, and they keep on harping that glyphosate is not acutely toxic, it should not be considered. To me, all that is hogwash. They do not own the words toxic or poison. The meaning of the word in any language ebbs and flows depending on what people consider the meaning to be, and to me, it is an acute poison for a whole lot of beneficial bacteria without which we cannot survive, gut bacteria and so on. And it is a chronic poison for every other living creature, including ourselves. That is my definition. The rest of the scientific community can go to hell. Now, this book is not being written to weigh in on any debate. I am not interested. I don't have 2 seconds for anybody who wants to debate whether glyphosate is good or bad. I have already drawn my line on the sand, and I have decided 1 part per billion glyphosate in food is 1 part too much. This book is for those who have also decided that glyphosate is a seriously harmful chemical to be in their food, and all they want is a tool by which they could navigate through this food system and try to avoid those that have high glyphosate and pick out those that have low glyphosate, hopefully to avoid being poisoned by what they eat. Those are the people for which this book is being written. The rest of the mainstream, as far as I am concerned, can go fly a kite. Thank you.